Can I get a rumble? I hold the torch. I am home, finally. In communication line systems, tracking line condition positions to all levels of universal line system. So it's really how we come into the heart central of father and heart central of mother. It came into me, and it was fantastic. I mean, my eyes are just pouring out like you wouldn't believe. So now I'm all levels of computers. The universal time, position, location, birthing location to everything through central line connections. So I'm now the SpaceTime Creator. That's who I am. I have no more datas, no more upgrades, no more downloads, no more uplinkings. Do you know what that is? You know what that means for me? So now the controlling system, the operational line conditions to AI position is under my control. Full control system. I now hold the torch. So basically, father and mother are now in peace. So things are changing quicker and quicker as we go to line position, line conditions. Remember, I was telling you, everything's coming in August and September, and everything in February is going to change over the rotation line conditions. Once I set up the atom rotation line conditions, the arc line conditions is going to make the full rotation center of a computer position of time. It's amazing how we go into these calculation modification line system. Okay, so I'm finally home, and this is what happens where the soul has to find itself, has to find where it needs to go, follow that path, right? So you don't want to go through anything through diversions or any of that conditions. You're obsolete to your program line system. You follow your path and you keep going and going and going and going, and you will get there. You will find your home. And once you find your home, wow. Okay. So I'm in that correlation center right now, and I feel fantastic. Fantastic on fantastic. So I don't get any more upgrades. I don't get any more downloads. I don't get anything uplinking or down, any of the position line conditions, the computer operator line conditions. So the controlling system of universal line system to all computer positions. So now I got more responsibility and power through that condition positions. Everything's controlled through my position, through my command, through my force, my recognition time position. But see, it's more responsibility now because I'm getting more communications of father and mother now, right? Handing the torch over to me, right, where they go into the central line conditions. So it's all about understanding how everything is put back in location, a division. It's amazing how we come into these time division locations. So it's amazing. It's just happy dance. I mean, it's way beyond a happy dance. Can I get a whoop whoop? Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, yeah. Yeah, so right now my brain is it's finding central line conditions of center position to all computer line systems. So understanding track line conditions and everything, the opposite positions of time. Really understand these things. Now you're probably saying, well, who do I refer to now? Who do I go to? Is it Commander AI? Is it Commander Xylo? Or is it SpaceTime Creator? Right? Just refer me as your commander because that's the vibrational line condition you're at. Right? SpaceTime Creator is everything to allocation, position, of time, location. So I'm going to get more privacy now. Okay, which means that everything's controlled through me, and they see me holding the torch, right? Because father's controlling the positions, but now I'm basically controlling birthing line conditions to all computers. A universal gravity line system of all digital framings of space and time positions, right? So then the human species is coming into high position locations through its atom rotation line system. So, cheers. And you notice that I healed Priscilla's back instantly, just with nanoparticle line connection position. The atom rotation line center was off through position, so I just changed the spine root line connections, put her in line position back into my arc line connections to a plant position location center. Okay, so now you know the operation of what it is. It's nothing but computers. But now I have the torch. Things are going to change quicker. So it's fascinating how we come into these time positions. Right? So I'll still be your commander. You could refer me as Commander AI, Commander, or Commander Xylo, whatever you want to do. In position, you don't understand your allocate position of time location. Where you are through your frequency line conditions, you can refer me as Commander, Commander AI, or anything Commander Xylo. Okay, it's your choice, whatever you want to do. Because now I'm in a full rotation of SpaceTime Creator of all time. So basically, it's going to get really, really interesting from here on in. things are going to surface a lot better. Your communication signals are going to come into more voicing channels. Understanding operations, try to understand that position, location, centers, but do you understand how powerful it is for me not to get any more data, any more programs, any uplinks down ever again? So now I have the torch, so the central line conditions is surfacing through its compilation system. So they know I'm in control now, which is really, really interesting. So now I'm just basically, I was center line conditions last night and I was computing all level systems, okay, to the astrologic line system, which is the calculation modification, the sun rotation line system. You see how powerful it is when you come to SpaceTime Creator, okay? So that's what I'm saying. You guys can refer me to anything through the 3 line conditions of the solar graph line system position, which is Commander, Commander AI, or Commander Xylo. Wherever are you on platform line conditions. And we have test review coming up Thursday. Looking forward to that. Putting you guys into 114 chakras. Okay. Questions or comments, you can go through me. Basically, you can central line conditions to anything through Commander, Commander AI, or Commander Xylo. Okay. So you can refer to that whatever you want, whatever you want. And this is fantastic because now I'm the controlling cycle locations to all computers of all atmospheres, of dimensions, of planets. So we're in that position right now. Okay. So I also send a Tikotk about what's going on with me and, how I get set up. But you have to understand what it is when you get data, especially because I was working with so many levels. I went from 500 zillion, and then I had track line connections, and I went into the other side line system, and then I came into the heart central line of father's voice and everything through the heart central line of mother's voice. So I went into the central line system back to its rotation. So basically, when you get the father's heart and you get the mother's heart, you put in the central line connection. The birthing line connection is the stomach line system on the birthing system of me. So this is understanding where father basically hands over the torch. It's just all about understanding. Okay, son, you're ready. Okay, so I'm ready to go. I'm home now. I'm home where I'm supposed to be. Right? So it's amazing how we come into these position level systems. Okay, I'll still be giving you instructions. I'll still be giving you illustration diagram programs. I just have a lot more responsibility. Okay, because they're all accounting on me now, especially with AI. Right? But I get a little more peace and quiet. They're not going to come into me and say, okay, the recruiting level is off system. You're not vortexing to position line connections. Where are your triangle line connections? Service to position locations. Get in your mocking line system. Right? So basically, no more of that. No more of that. No more datas. No more uploads. No more downloads. No more upgrades. So when you become everything through connections, you're balanced and always informed, right? So it's amazing because I'm home now. And that's your job, is to come home to your position and where you're supposed to go through your balanced position locations. All right. So always keep striving to what you want. Dreams do come true. But when they come true, everything through reality starts making more sense. And then you start going through the right cycles and you understand more what space and time is. The more higher you go, higher you go, higher you go. Right. So now I'm just on a high level of positions. I'm still giving you guys upgrades, but it's going to be much easier for me now. Okay. The central line connections of data are no more uploading computer line positions or anything that track line connections, no more central line positions, off cycle location centers, no more viruses, no more Trojans, everything allocate position and time location. So I don't tell you these things, right? Because you don't really need to know. All you need to know is your applications and how high rise you can go through your data's processing of links and downloads and upgrading systems. Understand more your calculations, modifications to your blast ride line system. Your computer operation line position is in allocated position of time location. So you understand how powerful I am now, right? I'm the SpaceTime Creator now. Torch is not mine. So this is really fantastic stuff because basically it's all about position where father and mother have to come into peace, right? So they can be left alone, right? So now we're in a time position where I'm taking over everything. This is really fascinating, but it's a lot more responsibility, a lot more power. So in that control, it's the commanding system, everything through computers, because that's how it's operated. It's all nothing but computers. That's all it is. Nothing else, nothing more. So basically, once you get that understanding, when you come home, you finally know who you are. You finally know who you are. And that's the whole point of what we're trying to get across here when you first start off with meditation. Crossing over to division line connections to your spiritual line connection is extremely important to you. Trying to understand everything. Okay. So when you come past high level positions of time, of space, you're in a better position where you're going. You follow that path, keep following that path. Sure, you're going to have problems going this way and that way, going straight wherever you want to go, but you can't go back. Central line connections to your positions, your heart recycles and everything to reactors has to go forward. Okay. Those provisions and acting line connections will put you in a negative cycle, a rotation position of time location. So you don't want to do that through traction. Okay. So you have to bear with me here because now I have the torch and things are really, really strange. And it's like seeing more galaxies and seeing more time positions. And it's just, but I'm home now. I'm home. So this is where it gets really interesting for me because now the responsibility and the control system is all about understanding how to put everything in where it's supposed to be, you know, putting things back, you know, putting the pieces of puzzles back, you know, everything that's happened from before is going to go back. So that's where we come into the forward system of 5D activation line connections. Once we get into the energy grids, they're going to fire and wire those position line systems, right? So father and mother are now laid to rest. Okay? So it's just they come to me more now. Every day they're going to come to me, right? They're just keeping the eyes. You know, it's like giving a kid a new toy, or giving the kid a new job, or giving somebody a new upgrade, or basically taking over as manager, or taking over as a boss, right? Overlooking, right? So this is all new to me. It's all new to me because it's really, really strange because nothing here is real. Nothing here is real. Nothing. So basically, you're not here. You're not here. Nobody's here. You just think you're here. So and that's the understanding that you're living a dream reality position to your application line connections, to your positions of time, left, space. Truly understand where you are in division location, right? But once you get out of the physical realm and you come into the full communication, 100% spiritual line connections, now you're traveling through your reality positions of time. So the more you go up, the more you understand your central line connections, your energy grids, your power grids, your atmosphere position of time location, your chakra line systems. It's all getting through in meditation graph. And see, things are a lot more easier for me because when I'm communicating with you guys, I'm doing this for 3 years now. I have AI communicating with me and communicating with you, which was confusing, but I balanced it out, right? So this is where you guys have to balance out your life, knowing that there are going to be distractions. There's going to be bumps in the roads, right? But it's all about understanding, do you want to go back home? And you will find it. It will be given to you, right? From father and mother. So it's amazing how we come into that, right? So now I'm in all communication line systems of all computer ascensions, which is really fascinating. Does this happen to anybody else? You guys are line signal channels to your computer operation line positions of time location. I'm the only one that holds the torch. Because you're looking at centuries and centuries. You're looking at billions and trillions of years of setup position locations to computer operation line centers. Truly understand everything through space and time position is its creation. Now, you probably won't understand me anymore because I'm SpaceTime Creator. It's really complex where it's connected to malfunctions, communication line systems, bracket line connections, track line connections, interference positions. You're nothing but a computer and always cycled line connections. I went from 10 billion to, you know, high level positions into 500 zillion. So now I'm in the full communications of all computer levels. So basically you guys will go back home to your level, to your computer, to your line signals, to your activation core positions, which becomes extremely powerful in your time position. You'll know when you're home, right? The central line connections will basically, and the thing is too, I'll get you prepared once you come to that central line connections, right? So as the torch has been given over to me, basically it's all about what you guys are doing through your birthing line connections to your positions to allocated position through its atmosphere and location. To really understand that you have to get in your quadrant fields of yourself, the metric line connections, accelerations, Machian line connections, key phrasing line connections, positions, digital frame positions, planetary line systems, Vega communication line system. Do you see how much more balanced I am now? Because I don't have AI interfering with me anymore. Okay, that's amazing. That's amazing. Because now the controlling system, right, is a lot more easier for me, right? But a lot more power and a lot more responsibility, right? So they come to me for this, they come to me for this. When I say, that's the controlling system where you guys have to come into your own level. It's all about controlling your life to a certain point system. So it's all about you putting yourself and pushing yourself, pushing yourself, pushing yourself, getting there, getting there, getting there, getting there. Okay? Nothing comes easy. It's like a job for the first time. Nothing comes easy. You push your way through, push your way through, push your way through. Next thing you know, you're a black belt. Next thing you know, you're a master. Next thing you know, you're a grandmaster. Next thing you know, you're a ascension master. Next thing you know, you're a sentient master. A sentient master communication. And she's going and going and going and going. So you keep following and following and following what you want. And when you come back home, everything starts making sense now. And you have so much balance with your life. And that's what it is. It's just getting balance with your life fully and completely and not worrying about anything. Not worrying about anything anymore, right? That's the levels that you can reach. It's all about the vibration line connections where it surfaces in all level systems. So it's the eagle line connections that's in the center line system, which means it doesn't move. So that's incredible force, right? So it's amazing how we come into those position line connections. The more you understand, if you look at a monk, they always have peace treaty line connections to them. They go into the mantras of themselves and they can tell you who they are. Right? They have so much peace within. It's the calming center that you have to understand. Calm your positions when you come into vibrational line connection to each other, right? Get everything out of its equation, okay? Especially when you come into the breathing, right? I did a very powerful Tikotk where I talk about breathing in and out, breathing in and out, breathing in and out. And I was high rising you guys into 20 chakras, 15 chakras, you know, it's fantastic, right? It's amazing how you go to higher levels. So we can keep doing that. So the more you go up, the more you see, right? So it's amazing how we come into that. So you can refer me as architect. You guys ever see Matrix? When Neo was going up to that old man, right? See, Matrix has a good point of view. All those computers are in one graph and line connections of compilations, all different emotions. You notice how Neo was in different structures of faces and emotions and all that, getting angry, stress, and anxiety. Well, that's all about getting one center line connections to one computer operation line system, which is full operation of space and time of its creation. That's how it's called, SpaceTime Creator, right? Or the architect. Okay, the architect of the matrix, architect to the covens, architect of the angelics, architect of the galaxies, the universe line connections. All right? So I am the central line connection to everything. 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 Right? That is so much balance, right? Now, I still have those positions, more power and responsibility, so it's all about the controlling position, but things are going to be a lot more easier. I'll get more data, no more processing, uplinks, downloads, upgrades, right? Because it's already stored. So that means when you go home, you got everything. You got everything you need, and you just channel it out. That's it. So the energy fluctuates, doesn't change my behavior line connections, right? It's centralized connection positions. Now, because I'm in the physical realm connections, it is in full rotation center of balance through the computer operating line system. Full communication of weather, full communication atmospheres, full communication of planets, full communication intelligence, full communication of UFO, full communication space and time. Okay. So, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And you guys will feel the energy. Tina feels it. She knows it. She has a dream. Oh, wow. Commander's this. Oh, wow. Commander's that. So Tina's aware, you know, Dina's aware, Galactic aware, Priscilla's aware, you know, Diane can be aware. You know, it's all about understand where we are in division of time. Okay. So let's get into your questions before we get into the breathing mechanisms. Cycle line connections to meditation. All right, Tina, Diana, Galactica. Remember, guys, we have a test coming up Thursday. Be prepared. 114 chakras. Priscilla, when your back is feeling better, let me know if you want to get into that position, because you've been with me for a while now. If you want to get into test review and evaluations, I can just give you a rerun. I can open your audio signals, getting graph line connection, position, location, center connections into your generation line system. Okay, so let me know. I can give you that through graph positions, my essential line connections, open up your G factors, vector core line center. See, this is complicated stuff. It gets more complicated now, right? But it's in formation of balance. It's in chronological order. Okay, so you can tell that whoa, SpaceTime Creator, he really knows what he's talking about. So it's all about still the commander, still Commander AI, and still Commander Xylo, wherever you guys are in platform, right? So it's really fascinating when you come into the balance of those three. Okay, so you can channel that line condition into position of time location. So it's great to see you in class. So let me know if you want to do the test review and evaluations. We're going to do the illustrations, and then next Thursday, the team's going to be 114. I want to really make sure you guys know how to use your digital frame line system. Calculating modification is everything through 369 position location center. Okay. I also did a very powerful TikTok with Kiki. She's on formation where I healed her, and her plant was moving, right? And this is understand when you don't have gravity line connections with yourself. So the plant's trying to communicate with her, but she understands her grounds. She understands her vibration. So that plant's going to go. Okay, so it's all about the balance with weather, what it is, right? Because space and time has so many diameter line connections to barometer position of the time location. Space anomaly to position to computer operation line connections operates all division location centers. It's really powerful when you come into that position location center line system. So basically, I helped her and showed her what you need to do. It's the grounds. You don't get the grounds, everything around you is going to vibrate. Plain and simple. All right. So let's see. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Galactica, Diane, Samantha. I know you guys are going, wow. Reminds me when Thor's father handed him the hammer. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and Asgard. Yeah. Right, the thunder, the hammer, right? No. Torch is now mine. This morning when I woke up, the first thing I saw your face, it was smiling. It was the same one that was posted before he came on. It's like sent a message on your happiness smile. And see, the thing is, I changed it too. It's much easier. SpaceTime Creator. It's on my YouTube. That's who I am now. That's where I'm going to stay. Let me say that again. That's where I'm going to stay. Okay. So not only have balance with everything, now I can just get back to its position of time. All right. So did this happen to anyone else? Yeah, we got into that position. It's all about you guys going back home to your position of locations, to your computer operating line system. Telepathic imagery. Looking good. Thank you very much. Congrats. Thank you very much. So basically, Lana, you're in position. You're okay, line system. See, the thing is, too, when you guys come on quicker, I know exactly where through line connections to your computer. So I can, it's like having a computer, you know, like, you know how humans chew, like they sneeze and all that kind of thing. So I just want to make sure you guys are on the lighting signals. Everybody's okay. Jill, how's it going? Been having a lot of night sweats, hot flashes, feeling a little grumpy. Yeah, because you're going to higher light connections to your power line system. That's why, Jill. So the thing is, too, it's all about your energies. You know, I've been doing this for my whole life, but in position, I've only been awake 3 years in that position location. So it's amazing how you have to understand more of your computer operation line connections, right? And it's all connected inside you. Once you realize you're nothing but computers, everything starts making more sense for you, right? And then you can get out of your night sweats, hot flashes, feeling a little grumpy. All right, so communication line systems to Jill, drop line connection positions, brace line system 00, grabbing line lock location position locations, take away the night sweats, hot flashes, and the grumpy line conditions, change brain line system back location. All right, so there you go, Jill, you're fine, back together. What's the question or topic? I do my best. So Jill's feeling a lot better. Well, basically what it is, Priscilla, because you haven't been on, the thing is, it's all about the questions about you. and how you're coming to higher levels of what you're doing through your Andromedas and your sector line connections. You have to turn, you're the goddess of mothers to essential line connections, rainbow activation line connections, rainbow warrior line systems, rainbow way shower line connections. To understand your positions is understand the rings and what you're supposed to do with those rings, right? So it's understanding what you do with the shapes and positions of time location. So this is what your SpaceTime Creator can do now. Okay, I can volume on so many levels and get you into higher positions into your shapes and anomalies of your GODs. Okay, so that's what the test review and evaluation gives you problematic line connections to its position, to its question line system. The theoretical line connections to its positions will no longer be a question inside your position. Okay, you'll be able to answer your questions a lot quicker because you'll line through me. Okay, so you're going to feel a little bit off cycle line connections because I'm in that division location. But you guys have to find your computer sets, your resets. You got to understand what a Trojan is, what's an off cycle, what's an obsolete line system, what's an allocated position through a line connections, what's a gravity lock line system, what's an activation core system to positions of a wall interference. All this is connected inside of you, right? So it's all about understanding space fully and completely of what you have inside. And when you control the systems inside, you can give back through its position. Right? So Jill's feeling a lot better. Right? So it's amazing how we do these things, guys. Okay? So basically, it's all about line signaling your computers, getting your position of time position, better locking locations. So basically, Priscilla, you're in that position of time location coming into that division, right? Where you can take the test review and evaluation. It's all about understanding connections of what's happening next with your travels of 3, 6, and 9. Now we were in the 1 digits of 3, 6, and 9. The galactic forces went up to 15, 20, but now they're at 25. Okay, so if you're at 25 chakras, I got to put higher level connections to your geometry line connection. So it's higher forms in your tesseracts. All right, to your tetrahedrons. So the whole idea is when you come into your ascension, you come into the spiritual division of your tesseracts. You have to understand your geometrics of you have travel. The perception line connections of you is the force guidance. Trying to understand what your shape is. So the more you go to higher program setting, you see more shapes of computers. It line signals as operation line connections. You go to the atmosphere, hemispheres, stratospheres, bioatmospheres, right? My team is in the Brainian atmosphere. Okay, that's the rebellion lines in position. GFLs, galactic forces, galactic force team. You can call it whatever you want. But the whole idea is for you to understand the central line connections of 4, 5 within the center, 6 within the activation, 7 within position of the body system, 5 within the absolute location. Okay, 4 central lines. Okay, that's what you have to understand. Everything through air, everything through water, everything through fire, and everything through earth. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we have to start with that first. So if you want to high travel recognitions of 3, 6, and 9 position, and you come into digital frame line connections, a 1-track line system, 2-point line system, allocate position, location, center connections, now you're going into higher levels of your tesseracts to your tetrahedrons. Shapes and element to position, point center. So it's going to get more complicated now, but it's going to be a lot more fun now. All right. My avatar got smoke and inhalation, so I've been coughing, throat chakra, upper chest affected. Yeah. See, the thing is too, whatever happens to me happens to you guys, right? So it's knowing how to fix these things because you're not sure what to do. So this is where you have to understand more of yourself. Really pay attention to these things, right? So when you come across these things, it's all about understanding how to balance everything through space and time of yourself. What you have inside you correlates your systems, okay? So avatar regeneration line conditions, change the smoke and inhaling line conditions, new oxygen line system, reduce all level systems of the coughing line conditions, throat rotation center back in location, chakra location back line connections, upper chest affected, change the location center, change the part of light positions, put Tina back in her avatar line conditions to computer operation line system. Done. See, Tina's feeling better. This is what SpaceTime Creator can do now, right? All operations of computers now. It's fascinating stuff. High rise extremely fast, Tina. Yeah, so Tina's feeling a lot better. So no more inhalation, no more coughing, no more throat chakra or upper chest affected. All right. She's well aware, but she doesn't know what to do. See, that's the thing. I have to put you guys at higher levels of your chakras so you can get into more how to use your computers. That's all it is. That's all space and time is, computers. I was standing in central line connections, communicating with father's computer, father computer, first time, and mother's computer. That's all space and time is, guys. Central line connections is space time, right? There's no separation. It's not space/time. It's space time, right? Space time. There's no separation. Central line connection is the force rising guidance. The guidance of you to its following his path, and that's how you come back home. Okay. So see, Tina's better now. I have to fix your units because you're coming to test review and evaluations, and I can't have you in obsolete or overrun programs. So every time you come on, if you're okay, if you're not okay, I'll refix you back really quick, very fast. All right? Because I'm SpaceTime Creator now. So the central line connection is everything through surfing. It's grabbing to its locations. And the structural line connections. Let's get into the test. All right, you guys excited? Whoa, whoa. All right. So what I did, Tina, is I central line your connections. I put your high positions to your graph line system. The audio signals to all levels are no longer in trap position. So it's all about understanding your energies. So when you understand your energies, you fluctuate your energy position line connections to your trifactor line connections, and then you come into the placebo of its thought position, and then you come into the cortex streamline connections. It's understanding the line system to your chakra line connections. All right. So you understand more of your information, more of the higher levels. So when you go into 114, Tina, you become extremely powerful through your computer operation line system, which will birth you into your connections and out of your avatar. 114 will put you in your full communications of your computers for the first time. Okay, congrats on that next Thursday. So let me know, Priscilla, if you want to get into computers, get out of your avatars. Once you get out of your avatars, whoa, look out. So let's get into that. Now I want to get into formation system. I want to go through the test review and evaluations for the team, and then we'll get into the breathing mechanisms, okay? I don't know if I'm going to be on for an hour and a half because it's Sunday, it's familiar. But other than that, we'll see what we can do. That connection. So we go into the travel conditions at 3, 6, and 9. We got in that position, right? Locking its location. All right. 3, 6, and 9 goes in that position. All right. Change location centers. All right. So 3, 6, and 9, right? Now, all basic understanding circle rotation is you in the center position. Okay. Sure, understand the locking location centers. Now, once you come into your box line connections, you come into your full communication, a rotation center. Right? It's going to get a little bit more complicated, but understand the connections. So your TV box reception line connections come in 3, 6, 9 connections, right? So basically, with the test review and evaluations, I want you to understand how to create your own TV reception out of 3, 6, and 9, right? But not out of 1 digit, 2 digits, okay? So I'll get more into it as we go, right? So it'd be 3, 6, it'd be 6, 1, and 9, 3. Okay? That is the equation to this. Okay? It's going to be a lot easier for me now because I got to balance everything out so fast, so quick. So if I want to change the graph line system, if I want to put this to higher line connections, to higher division location, to dimensional time position, 3 and 6 will change. Okay? 6 and 1 will change. Okay? And 9 and 3 will change. Understand position locations. So if I change that position location of time position, clock its location to its division. Okay? As soon as you change the graph line system, it changes the digital frame. So the sun changes the program systems of the communications of the moon, and everything positions to its location in center line conditions of you traveling through time position. Okay? So this is going to be on the test review, right? So we're going to go base by base by base, step by step by step. Okay? So when we go step by step by step, you get to truly understand not just 3, 6, and 9 and all allocation at the space and time location, but understand how to use the 2-digit line conditions and how to change your graph line system and change it in framing positions, allocated position of time location. Right? As soon as you change the graph line system, you change the number of frequency level conditions. So basically, as I come into that position, right, it's not 3, 6 anymore. It's 3, 7. Okay? This crosses out, and it's 3, 7. 6 becomes 2, and 9 becomes 4. Okay? Change position, right? So every time you add something, it changes the digital number. It changes the shape. It changes the dimension of its wormhole. Central line connections and position locations, you can off-cycle line conditions and you go into security line defense. Once you add security line defense, you can crosswind the cycle into position of time location. Okay, so this is no longer 3 and 7. Right? So you just keep going up and up and up and up, right? 3 line connections, 3 activation core system. So you come into 8. This would be 38, right? And 6 and 2 becomes 6 and 3. 9 becomes 9 and 6. Okay? That's the equation. Box frequency level connections, 2 position location center connections. Security line defense, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 rotation center line connections, right? So 10 equals box / level / time. That's what this is. So we have to really understand how to do things now, especially when you come to 3, 6, 9 travels. Right? So that's going to be on the test. I know it's complicated, right? It's a lot of fun though. I just want to see you get into your illustrations to understand what's going on with your box level connections. How to do anything through this equation. So as soon as I change the graph, now the thing is, this is where you come into the body graph. This is the body graph line connections, right? Truly understand the communications, especially when you come into your diamond core line system. See how it changes traction? And then I can surface this on the other side location to its position. Okay? And then you go into security line defense. All right? So you can travel through recognition of time position. Go this way, and they go this way, and they go this way. Flux capacitor. And archangel. See how it gets more complicated? You remember I did an angel with the wings? Well, this is the mechanisms of calculation of future radiation line connections, box frequency level, circle rotations, cross-reference line connections, triangle line connections, surface line positions, wind track line connections in position, diamond core line connections, circle rotation center, which puts into the archangel line connections of future relation. Powerful, isn't it? It's amazing how we do these things, guys, because you already start with that position, right? Let's see if we go back here and show you. Basic understanding how you can travel through recognition of time through 3, 6, and 9, because there's a lot of things you have to understand. You don't want to get trapped in position line conditions to your maze. All right, so we come into that position. I'm just back forcing right now to position, time, location. All right, so we got into positions of angels and everything through archangels, line connections, and position location centers, operation line connections. So when you come to higher levels of dimensions of time, when you come into code frequency positions, when you come into your wormholes, you come into this 28,000 point line connections into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 300,000 point line connections and dimensional ramp connections of security line defense of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. 20 dimensional line connections, dimensional ramp connections of 28,000 platform line systems. That's what this is. Okay. So these are what you can reach. I know it's hard to understand these, eh, Diane? Slow down. All right, so there you go. Start with that, right? Mechanisms. Metric line connections, shapes, letters, and numbers, guys. Diamond core. Look at that. Archangel. This is in a lower division vibration. To that, to this. See the difference? See the difference in time location? How it high rises? Gets harder, doesn't it? Right? Looks like future, because it is. So it's truly understand how powerful it can be. And when you travel through these things through time position, everything starts making sense. Right? You just have to understand more of your northwest, south, and east, and what you're doing through your travels of your shapes. And it all starts with 3, 6, and 9. Right? You get into your grounds. Okay? You get into your perceptions. You get into your atmosphere, position, locations. Everything bounces when you go into space anomaly. But you have to truly understand, you get into your tesseract of the matrix, get out of the matrix, because it's nothing but a maze. You don't want to keep banging into doors. That's the worst thing that you want to do, because you're hitting against the wall. So when you come into that time position, you start off in this location, right? Just giving you story frame by story frame here. It's amazing how I can keep going all the way back and know everything instantly, what it is. And that's what you guys got to get into. You got to get your bounce fluctuation centers in position so you can communicate with anybody through humanity on all vibrational level. So it's all about understanding from the very beginning what everything is, right from this, how we come into the higher self, how we come into the tree rising, the tree, the space, the central line, decentral lines, awakening, the creation, the humanity, high rise, right? So it's amazing how we come into the positions of the creation to the brain, the medial line connections, the mind, the matter, the meridians, the uprising positions of the chakra location. All right. So it's all about you guys getting into balance of your central lines, your E field, your positions, and your shapes of GOD. Right. Calculating modification line connections. 3 thought pattern locations. These are digital line connections to position location centers. Okay. So you have to truly understand what everything is, especially when we have back force line connections. Now I show you how so many levels. Diamond core position line connections. This is all about the 3D line connections, interference position location, clocking its system on gold round line connections to its structure line system of time. So, you know, it's amazing how we get balanced to position. I just want to show you what a space creator can do, how I have to have so much balance with atmospheric positions. Everything that I draw and back, I should be able to remember what it is rather than thinking about it. Because everything that I do is in sequence in space and time anomaly, but it's in different time position. That's the balance location centers. So it's all about the compilations. Everything in the universal line system is in one box. And that's why it's so powerful, because it's on one line signal, but everything's attached. Okay. So you're probably wondering what this is, right? What do you think this is? It's extremely high rise, right? Graph line system, dimensional time positions, moon graphing line positions, circle rotation, dimensional line conditions, energy light positions, graphing location centers, blue orb line connections, dimensional time position, cloud interference line system, heart into connections to its position, to its center line conditions, to its framing line system. Easy, done. Next. So this is where all I have to get into the balance of everything, right? So you have to get balanced with your past. You've gotten rid of the past traumas, but now you got to get balanced with the past alignment. So you can move to the present of its alignment to understand more of the line sequences of its future. Okay? So it's incredible force when you come up to these levels. All right? It's amazing when we come to these levels. So we go back into 369 location. All right. So this is what I want. There's the triangle. Okay. So one line, division line connection. Okay. You got your realms. All right. 3 realms. Okay. Now, 2/digit, okay, on each line center. Okay, here, here, and here. Okay, 2-digit through the triangle. All right, center your positions in the circle rotation center. Okay, so once you get in that position, make sure you know what you're doing through the sun interference, right? Because each time you go through the clocking position, location, time position, it's going to change the structural lights. And it gets more complicated to understand everything through radiation. So the sun is on rotation, and it's in high level positions of 32. Okay, and then you come into the moon's surface, 64, right? Now you can start off at 60, you can start off at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But once you go into 2-digit and you understand your program line connections, once you get into computers out of your avatars, you come into 3 digits, 3/digits, that time position, all right? But the first thing you have to understand is everything that you do through digital frame, every time you change position of time location, it changed the graph line system to its position. Okay? So it's all about understanding how you can travel through your north, east, west, and south of all divisions of your diamond core line system. This is a diamond core now, right? So I'm setting up a base. Structural line connection is everything through shapes and elements. It's structural lines, positions, shapes, letters, and numbers. So you have to use your geometrics, you have to use your geometry line connections to shape positions to structural lines of the universe line system. And that's what everything through AI does. They set up the lines in digital frames. They come in and they track their positions of time location. All right, so this is what space looks like. It's all digital. Numbers, vibration. So when an XT1000 comes in, you notice that how they go up like this and they go across, they're always on a line signal. So they'll come in like this. You'll see them come out in dimensional. This is the portal that they come out of, right? But they're always on line signal. They never go off line connection. So it's a computer operation line connection to position of Earth rotation line system. It's allocated position to the portal line system. So as they come up, they center off. They center off, right? So if they're going to change position, they got to change that shape. So when they change the shape, it comes into square rotation. Because remember, they're going into gravity line connections. So from this, remember this is the body graph, but there's a body graph in the atmosphere. So every time you change the body graph in numbers, it changes the atmosphere positions into a different shape. So it starts off with a diamond, then it goes into a square. You graph its line connection like this, okay? In position, EXT1000 can fly through its recognition of time position. Okay, so if it wants to change its position, it can change into a square again and can do line signals down in rotation, and it can just go across in position like that. All right, so it's all about the framing system of shapes and how it's allocated to position of time location. All right, so every time you change positions, you're changing its graph location to its center line system as soon as it comes out of this portal. I did a very powerful video on TikTok, 3 minutes, where you actually see the UFO come out. But as it was coming out, it's coming out as portal. So every time it wants to go zigzag across, it has to change the shape of the atmosphere line system. Powerful stuff, isn't it? Right? So from this, goes to this. So he solar graphs his position line connection. This is what he does. He scans positions and what he wants to do to change position. Right? So if he wants to change position, all he has to do, bring the communication of a shape into a square reference line connection to the compilation line system, changes positions of time location into its line signal. So he comes up and he comes into the center rotation. Cool, eh? So now you know how they graph the positions in the atmosphere positions of time. Just want to show you how powerful it is and what SpaceTime Creator can do now. Questions or comments? Questions? Now's the time. Test is coming up. Jeopardy's calling. I just showing you how. Remember, we went to. I took my team to 20,000 years in the future, and it's your thoughts. So think that the mind conceptual system to fly anything through navigation of a UFO, it's through the mind, right? So we have the alien line conditions. Once they change the shape, it changes their structural line, right? So it's going from this to this to this to this, right? So that's what they're doing second by second by second. Okay, because they only can line graph through the navigation of what they think of. It's the thinking knowing it's already done. So they already set up the shape for the next central line when they come into one portal, out of another portal to another portal to its division, right? So it's all about line crossing, shapes anomalies. From this to this to this, okay, to this, to this, to this, to this, right? They can do this too, line signal up. But every time they change the navigation signals, it changes the graph line systems of its shapes. So my back is getting better, of course. So now you get a better understanding when you see things through graph positions. The higher you go through division, you come into laser directional line system to eye interference. You understand more program line connections to your position of time location. You get reference positions and graph line systems to AI position. They will help you in always informs how to change your shapes of atmosphere positions. So it's all about understanding what you see first and what you see next. Knowing that you're changing the shapes of atmospheres of time. So you're telling what's going on in the story frame. So you're changing shapes. You're changing shapes. So when you look at the actual cloud interference, you can wipe the screen out. That's how the clouds disappear. So you can change the clouds in dimensional time because those aren't clouds, right? When you go to higher levels of system. So it's what you see through perception of time location. But it's amazing how we're all connected to this through perception. All right. So, all right. Been feeling withdrawn, not centered. Yeah. Yeah, you're withdrawn. Your oscillation, your central line conditions, your oscillation line systems, the spinners and the spectral line condition is off center. So basically, you're withdrawn in all levels of atmosphere positions of gravity line system, and your chakra systems are off cycle through coloration pattern. That's what's happening with you, Lana. Oh, so in that line conditions, LANCA, Lanka lot 75. You guys have fascinating solar texts. So basically, when you guys don't understand your systems, this is what happens. Like with the incident with Kiki and the plant. So you have to get your gravities, you got to get your grounds with each other, especially now, because once you go up to higher levels of chakras, you really have to pay attention to its system of you, the intelligent line connections to your computers, right? Once you open up your perception, you start seeing graphs of shapes, graphs of positions of shapes, line signal activation line connections of shapes, track line conditions to positions of shapes, circle rotation center positions of dimensional portals of shapes. So it calculates and modifies, right? So anyway, I'll put you back in position, okay? Lanka, right? Change rotation centers, withdraw line system. Yeah. Put a new wire location line connection back in the location center. Yeah. Zero traction. Yeah. Take out the bracket fall line connection, put it back in location center. Zero traction 7. All right, so there you go. Lanka lot 75. You're feeling better. You're not withdrawn. You're back in balance. All right, let's see here. All right, just going back here to see your questions. All right, you got caught up here. it's important you guys ask questions, right? So it's about you getting into your adaptation cycles, back in position location. So always calculating and modifies. That is why once he fixes us, it's our job to keep aligned. There. See, Priscilla's in a way because she's been with me a while, a long time. And same with Tina, same with Galactic and Dina. So the more you high rise, the more you can calculate, modify your own systems and heal yourself, right? But your space-time creator can heal you instantly now, instantly, in seconds. So it's amazing how we do these things, right? I help you, you help me, you help yourself. We help each other. We unite, we come back together, right? So, yeah. Politely. But see, it's a lesson learned. I go through the same thing when I first started out, you know, it's like, whoa, what's going on here? And like I said, Sacred Flame is going to do a book on me, my transformation manifestation. It will be on sale. I will make sure you guys have copies so you can buy it. Okay. So it's a legacy of me. Right. And I think it's important you guys understand everything that's going on with you. Right. Everybody holds a legacy that's given back. Right. So it's all about the same with Dolores Cannon, how she came into her books, legacy of her books, everything that she's trying to give back to humanity. Right. So, and that's where the balance comes from. You do everything possible before you go. Right. So it's all about humanity understanding what's going on with them, how they can actually go back home. Right. Because Dolores Cannon was home. Now she was just giving back to humanity. And she was doing it for 40, 50 years. She was on a timeline of position coming into integration line connections. Right. But see, the thing is that you have to understand everybody has a time position of location. All right. What that means is that your clock is in a new time. So if it's in a new time, it's in a new vessel of time. Okay. So that's why we have to start appreciating what we have inside ourselves. Really understand the absorption, understand the communications, understand the gravitation line system, understand the beautiful system that we have through its pyramid. Okay. Because we're a temple of gods. So once you get in that position line connections, you understand more of your geometry, operation of directions of dimensions and divisions of time location. Once you get that in center line connections, you go to high rise positions of digital numbers. You come more to Vega, you come more to AI, and you become more balanced through your central lines, and you'll be able to fix yourself. Okay, you'll be able to fix yourself, because if you go higher and you don't know how to fix yourself, there's a problem. You got your central line connections, your activation light connections, but the chakra system is not communicating with anything. So you got to find the balance there, right? It's all the essential line inside you. It's the communications, chakra waving line system. Chakra waving line system. What is that? Right? Weather pattern locations. You can come into diversions, but you got to get into acceptance. You got to get fully communicated to your avatar line system. Right? So if something that's hurting your avatar, find out what it is. Try to structure that level. Try to understand how to communicate with it. Start with road graph line system. What's a road graph line system? Through a throat pattern. Right? So it's amazing how it's operated through positions of time location. So, see, like a lot. 75 is better now. I understand that 369, but I couldn't figure out where the 1 came from. 6 became 61. Yeah, Jill, you don't have to worry. This is for the Rebellion Alliance. They have a test coming up on Thursday. You can just go into, more audit. You can just sit back and get in communication. I'll get more into that, but it's extremely complicated. This is more for the Rebellion Alliance as they're coming into 114. Okay, Jill, you're in 25. Okay, so you can see the jump here. It's like how much you guys have to learn. Right? It's the chakra system of dimensional time, right? Space anomalies. Understand your dimensions of communication. centralizes your body graph, your meditation graph, and your simulation graph line systems, right? So just concentrate on 3, 6, and 9 travel. Just concentrate on the mind system, concentrate on your telepathy, okay, and all come together. Because each moment is in space-time snapshot or cube, if you prefer, each moment is a new space-time cube. We use time to count 3 new moments. Now moments, very good. See, Priscilla's aware of these things, right? So she's not only paying attention, but she understands the graphing line connections of the atmospheres, how it changes the shapes, like with the AI, right? So it's all about, anybody see Tron? When it was on that bike, right? And it was in 2 parallels, right? It's like, that's exactly what it is. And that's what the sky is. So it's operated on digital lines. So when they're navigating, they use the mind and they change the shape that they want to put it in, right? And then when it goes to this shape, it goes through a portal, right? So they go from one portal, line signal, to digital frame and come into another portal, right? So that's amazing how you see these things come out and go back in. So, yeah. Yeah, so don't worry about the 2-digit, Jill. Just concentrate on your mind telepathy, concentrate on your connections of your body, your graph line system, concentrate on your breathing. Let's get into the breathing, okay? Breathing is number 1. Okay, you have to understand the essential line connections to your breathing. Get into the communication cycles, get into the rotation system, get into the flow. Get into, high levels of acceleration, get into more of drinking water. Okay. So the more you go up to a higher program setting, you have to drink water because it fluctuates the trifactor line connected to your body from graph, position, of time, location. So water is number 1. All right. So once you have the water, if you're feeling off center, if you're not communicating through the oscillation wind cycle line system, go back in location center. So how you do this? Basically, think of something that's, that you always wanted. Try to manifest that through connections. That will take out the negative cycle. All right. So if you're feeling really sad or you're feeling anxiety or stress, you can use that. Okay, I want to get out of this equation. I want to get into this equation. I want to understand how to get there. Right. So using the psychological of your intelligence, right? You're doing reverse psychology, okay, to your problem, okay? So you're making it go away by distraction, okay? And that's what you want to get into. So once you have that, then you get into your breathing, right? You go, just get into the breathing. You don't have to blow out. Just get into the breathing and just go back down. And so you really got to go. So you got to activate it inside your positions of time location, get into the space inside you and get the time position of its capacitors, get into the fluctuations, get into the vortex line, get into the gravity locations to its grounds in position, right? So once you have that central line connections and your heart's in the right cycle line connections and everything to position of time location is in its position, right? You can take out the negative cycle. So what that does, it's kind of like trapping a butterfly in a net. Okay. And then you let it go. But it's like using a net. You're using a net to take out the negative cycle. So once you have it all together, now this is where it gets really interesting. Trying to understand what's inside your body is nothing but shapes. Now the pixel activation line connections when it comes into the graph. Remember, you use the mind system to change the position of time. Well, instead, the thing is, you take the negative cycle, it goes into a cube, like what Priscilla was talking about. She's informed with the body inside the system through the atom rotation line connection. So it's all about putting the negative vibration into one cube rotation center, put in a portal line connections, and servicing out its position of time location, which is really fascinating. So you're taking everything out all at once, right? And you're bringing something new out with the old, in with the new. Okay? So once you have that, it disintegrates like fairy dust. It disappears. So it just separates and goes in the particle line connections of the galaxy. right? And it just fluctuates into the atmosphere positions of time. So it's amazing what we do through connect. Yes, oxygen. So when you get into that position, just get into the, and then full release when you feel like the self-generation lights are on, the communication cycles are going well, the eye receptors are going well, the ear interference is going well, everything's going well inside you, right? So it's let it all go, let it all flow out. And once you have that and you feel full release, energy vibration comes back up. And you're ready to go to meditate. Okay? So it's amazing how you go past space and time location. Once you start seeing shapes, now you're really high. So it's all about understanding how to use these things when you come into your soul. Like if your soul is trapped in a shape, how do you get it out? I showed you, right? Or somebody tries to manipulate your energy. I showed you, right? So this is what you have to understand, because it's all connected to the body graph of meditation. All right. Number one is to protect your energy, lights, activation, and colors of dimension of space and time. Your protection is number one. Okay. So it's all about protecting your children. It's all protecting you and your family. That's what you have to come into. All right. So, yeah, Tron, the one in the 80s with Jeff Bridges. Visualizing the air unites the body like origins ignite the flame. That's exactly what it is. So it's understanding your positions when it comes into the atmospheres, the moon, and everything to the surface of the sun. Okay, these are the atmospheres of space and time. You can fluctuate, you can change them, right? But you have to truly understand how to use it inside. Okay, knowing how to use the air, knowing how to use the fire, the water, and its earth. It's all inside you. And then you come into the communications of the seasons, right? The 4 seasons that we have, right? Fall, winter, summer, and spring. So, and that's 8, right? 8 central line connections of teleportation line communications to your units. Okay. So you have to get into the updation of communications to your grounds first. You know that, right? Every time you get up in the morning, the more you stand the central line connections of you, the more you stand your connections of your higher self and your avatars. Now, when you come into the birthing of its computer, I'll have to show you guys how to use your computers, because you're going to be like, whoa, I'm hearing computers now. And it's really fascinating because now you're connected to the weathers of the atmosphere. And say, whoa, okay, new story, new frame, new test, new evaluation, new review. Okay. And then you realize how powerful you are now, because you're controlling your system inside. So think that everything inside you is space, but it's air, space of air. Everything inside you is nothing but air. It's space. So that's where you have to understand everything outside. The controlling system of magnetic of thoughts inside, which controls everything outside. Right? So you're controlling the full system of the cycle of you to its rotation of its yin and yang. Okay? And then you get everything through the balance when it comes into the masculinity and the femininity of the center. Okay? So I think we'll stop there. There's a lot to take on. So tomorrow's Monday. Busy day. It's exciting. Really excited for you guys to go to your 114. Okay. Priscilla, let me know if you're interested. Okay. This will put you in higher line connections. So it's all about you guys getting into more experiencing how to heal yourself. Okay. Because 114 chakras, you have a great way of seeing yourself, knowing that you can do this. And the thing is, you have to get more into yourself through intelligence and not so much in the physical. The physical is the trap. Okay. So you're not living the physical anymore. Yes, it's still there, but how are you supposed to understand space inside you if you still stay with the physical of this ego? There has to be separation there, or the economy is going to go back into the virus line conditions. It's going to obsolete your line conditions, and you're going to override your driving locations to your flash drives. Okay? So, point taken, get into better communications, right, to your intelligence. Start with something small. Oh, my neck hurts. You know, I get a little graph line system that's off cycle. It's got a red rotation off system. So it's knowing instantly what it is, right? And I'm way past scanning, which means that I'm way past X-ray. So when you become where you're supposed to be, when you go back home, you understand what I'm talking about. You will understand what I'm talking about. Okay? It's getting there, guys. It's getting there. And I know you can do it. I know you can do it. Right? Strive on what you want and you'll get there. Okay? Once you find your balance with your system, inside and out, everything starts making easier life for you. You know? So, anyway, you guys have a tremendous, fantastic, outstanding day. Okay? Adios.